We are back. The Breakdown Boys, Wade Sensei.
Oos.
Topic of discussion / debate today has been rife with fight matchups, fantasy fight crossovers from Misfits to then Bradley Martin, and then we come to the people with one last one, and this one might be the most interesting one to talk about, to be honest with you. There has been yet another MMA fighter calling out a boxer. This seems to happen more so. Let's just start there. What is this obsession with MMA fighters calling out boxers? I know the answer. I just want to hear what your thoughts are on
it. Because, number one, I think money.
Boom. That's it. That's the only answer.
Yeah.
But two,
money.
But two, you could argue that, there is a bit of the sweet science that MMA fighters may not get the full credit for being artists in the way boxers are, skilled, talented. Even though we do that and we know how high level it is to be as skilled as they are at the top level, yada, yada, there is that notion that boxing, and maybe even rightfully so, is the harder sport because of the technical ability at the highest level and the lack of variables. You can argue those things. But
yeah,
there's a back and forth. This today, or I guess this week, has been interesting because Sugar Sean O'Malley, your new bantamweight champion of the world, in one of the most beautiful counter-striking displays we've ever seen, takes the belt and does this as his first action as champion of the bantamweight division of the UFC.
I also wouldn't mind knocking out Gervonta Davis, and I know people are going to go, oh, you want to be Conor. I'm telling you, that fight is going to happen. I mean, I don't really follow boxing, but I've heard of Gervonta Davis, and I think he's undefeated. I'm about to pay. I want to have crazy, massive fights. That shit gets me excited. I love that stuff. And there's no stars in the bantamweight division. Gervonta, you could consider him like almost a star, and that's what gets me excited. Me versus Gervonta would be fucking massive. T-Mobile.
Wow.
We're here. Fuck it.
There you go. So his first order of business is to call out Tank Gervonta Davis, a.k.a. the multi-commission champion of the world at the 135-pound division.
And immediately says, I know everyone's going to call me Conor. Like, no one ever said that yet.
Yeah. I mean, there are the comparisons. Obviously, Conor wins the 155 and goes, hey, fuck it. I might have to wake Floyd Mayweather up out of bed and see what the fuck he's talking about. You know what I mean? Does that. So, what do you think, first off, about the call-out? It wasn't the most, spicy call-out. It was just, hey, listen, I want to make massive fights in my career, and flat out just ran down the entire 135 division. The UFC said, there's no stars here, so fuck it, I'll leave.
Yeah, it seems even for him, because he's like, with Gervonta, he was putting him down so much. Like, I guess he's a star, but like that's
like
not
backhanded. But it was like I need to see more spice if you're gonna do that. You know what I'm saying?
Like you're gonna say that, but you also want to fight him,
right?
You know what I'm saying? So clearly he's on the radar. Clearly you think he's big enough. He's like massive fights. I want the biggest fights. This guy's almost a star. Let's fight this guy.
Yeah,
you know
he's
what
like,
I mean?
well,
so I get what he's trying to do.
Yeah,
So it wasn't the greatest call out.
Well, what do you think of the? We have to talk about it. What do you think of the actual matchup? Let me just, before we go in and go crazy here, because yes, there is one answer in our opinion, but Sean O'Malley does have some attributes here, right? And this is the one thing that can potentially, at least somewhat, be a factor, right? Wow, Sean O'Malley's born on October 24th, 2 days after my B-Day. What's up, boy? He's 5'11".
He is 5'11".
Okay? That is a big deal at 72-inch reach. Okay. Gervonta, 5'5.5", and a 67.5 reach. 67.5-inch reach, excuse me. So you're talking about 11 inches in height and basically, or 11 inches, 5 to 6 inches in height and about 5 to 6 inches in reach. Not that I know anything about those numbers. Let's just talk about it, because of course it's going to be talked about. What happens if Gervonta Davis and Sean O'Malley box? Not fight, but if they box.
I don't think it's good for O'Malley.
It's not a great matchup for Sean other than the fact that he's tall. That's about it.
And O'Malley has power, but it's not. It's power in MMA, which is different.
It's power in 4 ounces for sure.
It's not the same as.
It's not the same as
like
Tank's fucking
Tank Davis
ridiculous
and boxing power.
And Tank's
Very,
not
very
easy
different.
to hit either, man.
Correct.
And it's not like an Aljamain Sterling not easy to hit because he's changing levels to grapple or he's playing 2 hands on the floor games and swiping his head back and forth like someone threw on a jam in the nightclub. Like, that's not it. You know what I'm saying?
And Sean O'Malley's not like even like a heavy puncher either. He can hit hard, but he's a striker.
I would say he's more of a puncher than a kicker, but he is a kicker to then sometimes strike as well.
Yes, he uses it to maintain range. It's a part of his stance as well.
Yeah.
He switches stances a lot. You know, we're talking. That's a striker's thing.
Would that benefit Sean
repertoire.
In boxing?
No.
In this case?
No, because
we're seeing
like,
in the boxing realm, we are seeing younger guys now, younger fighters become dual stance fighters. A lot of the younger generations doing this.
Some people can do that, but if you go against, Javante is verse southpaws. He's verse guys like that. So if you do that and you're like offensively, and he has some trap set up for you, and you're not ready for it,
GG.
Bada boom, bada bing, son.
GG.
You know, it's just gonna get hit at a different. And I'm not sure. Like, I know he has good footwork and everything, but I'm not sure he has the defense.
This fight's not close, dude.
Nor does he have the offense to gain any respect from Davis. And then what about the defense?
No, dude. This fight's not close in boxing. Like, we can entertain it as it'd be a fun event, maybe a big what if, and it's always we go back to that, a puncher's chance. Dude, we're doing it in the heavyweight division in October.
Ever since Anderson beat Julio Cesar Chavez, they're like, we can do it.
Conor made people believe.
Yeah, with the Floyd thing, but
he made people believe, and now there's some remnant of that still. And it's not the people. When I say he made people believe, it wasn't even the fans. Conor made MMA fighters believe, and now you're seeing a little bit more of that. Maybe it's the money, but it's also that, hey man, maybe.
But isn't O'Malley and Tank the same weight? They're in the same weight class.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's the difference. Mayweather and McGregor, not the same weight class.
Yeah, they did it at 54, and Conor hit 54, and Floyd was like 149.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Two completely different people. Like, they try to do it, but usually the MMA fighter is the bigger guy, so he has that advantage.
If you guys take this seriously, like, again, it's so tough because I want to see Sean have big fights. I think he's the next massive superstar in the UFC. And if Gervonta Davis came over, it would be good night in the first round. Any way Sean wanted to do it. You know what I'm saying? But in the same way, boxing is that. I think it was Sergio Mora said the other day, when MMA comes to boxing, y'all ain't got a chance. When we go to MMA, it's a puncher's chance. I'm like, dude, no. These two things are not the same. Just because you guys can box does not mean...
An MMA fighter has a much better chance in a boxing match.
Yeah, bro, what are you talking about? And that's a debate that I'd love to have with anybody. But this is not a competitive fight. What Sean is trying to do is make himself a ton of money, and I want that for him. But you have to be able to find ways to do this inside your sport. Otherwise, it makes the championship and stuff worthless too, because it's like, bro, I just got this belt. Ain't no stars. I don't want to defend it. I'm going to go do boxing. Like, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying?
Look at who has a better chance of winning? Ngannou over Tyson Fury or Sean O'Malley over Gervonta Davis?
Who has a better chance? Francis. Because he can land just one at heavyweight, at least. O'Malley could land a shot on Gervonta, and Gervonta be like, what?
Yeah.
Francis might have some ungodly thing. Like, Deontay Wilder's not the craziest, highest level boxer, and he landed on Tyson and had him on wobbly legs.
Yeah.
Tyson sometimes takes risks. The percentage chance for Francis to do it is like 2.
Right.
And Sean has like 1. That's what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, Tyson is going to do whatever he wants with Francis Ngannou on October 28th. I would be surprised if Francis even survives unless Tyson Fury wants him to.
Especially Francis, if the physicals were flipped, I could see it.
If he had an advantage, if he had any advantage, size, reach,
any advantage, like
range,
if he was the one
weight.
that was freaking 6'10", like 7 feet, and Tyson was 6'4", you know,
saying,
and the smaller guy,
something.
then maybe, you know, something.
But
right.
in Sean's case, even the 5'11" is not going to save him here.
No, because he's still the same weight class. Maybe if he
Watch what happens
bigger,
if they start fighting
you know?
in the pocket, inside fighting. Then
That's
what?
I'm saying, bro. It's bad. It's not.
And Gervonta's fast.
Right.
He's able to get off and not just punches and bunches, but he's able to get off his back foot too. So yeah, rush him, please. He's just as good a counter fighter off his back as Sean is.
Right, I know.
If not better with the hand. Like, no, not. He is better off his back foot with his hand. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, of course.
But listen, maybe we're crazy, or maybe we're not. I have to go to. I just saw this on YouTube. We have to go to our resident boxing expert on ESPN, who they bring in, and not now MMA expert. I don't know if you know this, but oh yeah, we should actually show that. You know what? No, we shouldn't, because his opinions are not based on his talent. All right, he can be an expert from his experience, not the sledgehammers. But let's see what Stephen A. Smith had to say.
Because Gervonta Davis, I mean, I love my boxing, and Gervonta Tank Davis is big time. He's a lightweight champion of the world. We saw what he did against a taller, lanky guy like Ryan Garcia, knocked him out with that body shot. When you said that you wanted him, why is it that you want Gervonta Davis? Why is it that you have this desire to go against a boxer?
I'll fight for whatever. I'll fight for $5 in a economy class. I'm in the fight business. I'm looking for big fights. I know what I possess in my boxing skills. I've always done really good against guys who are, as short as Gervonta. And, it's a massive fight, and I truly, truly believe that I could win that fight. And I think it's exciting. I don't know if that fight's not necessarily next. I'm not calling for it next. I'm building up for that fight. I know what I need to do to get a fight like that, and that's, keep winning, put it on pay-per-views, and that fight is definitely a possibility in the future.
Because
I was a little confused the way he started that. It was I'll fight for $5 in an economy class ticket, and then he was like, no, I'm doing the biggest fights ever. Maybe that was cut off, and he was like, I won't fight for that, or maybe people think that I will, but I'm not. I don't know.
Yeah. We ain't doing that no more.
But yeah, listen. There's no way you're gonna convince me this is competitive. I don't like.
Even they try to put out that he's like, he knocked out a taller, lanky guy with a body shot like you. So why would you want to fight a guy like that?
He's right though, and he didn't just do it to a taller, lanky guy. He did it to a taller, lanky guy in a division above too. People forgot he did this to Mario Barrios.
Right.
Late in the fight, after he got the fucking hand of God from Floyd in the corner. Tank, I need you.
Yeah.
And he went out and just flatline Mario Barrios, who's like a natural 140 pounder. So I no, this is not competitive. Sean, I understand the need in his mind to go out and make big fights, to create moments, to create hype. Let's just do it in the MMA world. Let's just do it in the UFC world, because the more our guys, and I say our because I'm an MMA guy, like whatever. The more our guys continue to gravitate toward boxing, and we all know why. It's because of the money they can make. I get that. Yep. And Dana is a piece of shit he's a good businessman, but he's a piece of shit. He's a good businessman. But he also is robbing some of these fighters blind, you know what I mean? And like 18% share is not even close to what this is for a professional league. And you can say, well, they have to run a business, Wade. You don't understand economics of the business. No, dude. They're making more money per year than any other professional. They're not making more per fighter per year than any other professional to their specific sports player. It's not even fucking close. They're the only thing profitable over at Endeavor. They can afford to pay these guys a little more than 18% revenue share. Don't give me the Wade, you don't know how to run it. They're making it hand over fucking fist, dog. Shut up. Anyway.
Talk to them, Wade.
It's crazy, dude. But long story short, we have to find a way to keep our guys here and treat these championships and treat this spot he's in like I can't say like Connor did, because Connor left too. I don't know. Whoever is going to take that mantle and be our next big superstar, let's make it an MMA guy and make boxers want to come over and talk that shit, because it's always MMA guys going over, dude. It's always them.
It used to be when James Toney did it.
Yeah. When they were giving Tony a bag.
The boxers coming over, and they were getting, and then they got beat up because Dana knew. Dana's like, we're going to pay him. I'm going to show everyone what it's about. Yeah. And now boxers are like, nah, come over here. Because now they know they got the
money. And that's the thing,
money
is
talks.
The boxers, they understand their side of the business, and they point and they laugh at these MMA guys that come over because they're like, you need us, bro. And it's just a frustrating thing, man. But should Sean O'Malley do this? I mean, for him personally, I can't say no, man. I'm not pocket watching the guy go do it, but we need to find as a sport a way for our guys to not do this, and it's going to be strictly by holding the UFC's feet to the fire on fighter pay. It's really all it's going to be. But the fight's not competitive, at least in our opinion. But maybe we're wrong. Comment section, let us know. Is a fight between Gervonta Tank Davis and Sean O'Malley even remotely competitive? We think we have the answers, but guess we'll find out.
I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs.